Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Tribe Forex Power Hour. Today is September 2nd, 2014, and historically speaking, September has been a very good month for us, year over year. So let's get with it. Honestly, I've got to be real with you and tell you that this particular these calls in the last couple of days have been the hardest to make. The market hasn't really been clear as far as what it wants to do. Anyway, yesterday we called a buy on the euro dollar, and we called a buy at 1.3105. Price got down to 1.3109 in the late in the session, and we were able to, make a little bit of profit, not a ton of profit. Well, we're going to go with a buy again at 1.3110. So I have a trend line here. I also have my 1.31 original 05 line that we took a buy off of as well. So we're going to look for a price to really move off of 1.3110, and that's going to be our buy. So what works well for us is that we also have the sell. So we expected a sell off of 0.9219, which is our pod 3 strong, and we did. We got one. It didn't come close enough. We were within 8 pips of that sell, and that would have been good money for us. We're going to look for, again, on the dollar Swiss, we're going to look for 92.15. I want to call 92.10 to 92.15 sell. Okay. In fact, if we took 92.10, I think that would be close enough for us. In fact, I'm going to call it 92.07 for us to look for a sell down off of the dollar Swiss. And let me just fix that. All right, that's good. All right, so that's what we're looking for, 92.07 sell on the dollar Swiss. Pound dollar was really big, guys. In fact, we had this trend line above. We didn't quite call it, though. I'm not exactly sure in retrospect. Now looking at this big, long sell-off, that would have been beautiful money for us. It would have been 10 to 15 times our risk on this trade. But, you can't control those factors. Sometimes you're on it, sometimes you're not. So what we're going to look for here is we're going to look for a buy at 1.6450. Now you're looking at this big sell bar and you're thinking to yourself, geez, such a huge sell bar, why would we take a buy? Well, we found historically speaking that, we got to just look at the numbers, and the numbers say that we have a trend line that's still good. That's right there at 164.46. And we have a pod 2 strongest, which is also good, which is currently at 1.6457. So we're going to go with 1.6450 as our buy point here on the pound dollar. Dollar yen just took off. We didn't have any way of knowing that we had another high to pass. It could have come down, really tested this. So we're going to continue to hold on this dollar yen as it continues to move up. Personally, I think it's going to go to 105.36. I think it's got a good chance of turning it there, but I'm not going to make that call on the dollar yen. I'm going to watch very carefully to see what happens, but I believe around 105.30 we're going to see a turn and see the dollar yen come back in and really form an area of resistance up there at the top. So the Aussie dollar is interesting. So I passed the dollar yen, so there's a no call on the dollar yen. Aussie dollar, a lot going on the Aussie dollar. We can really just continue to move up from the Aussie dollar from where we are currently at 0.9268. I'm going to go ahead and make a safe call at 0.9260, which is a long-standing trend line as well. Both of these are long-standing trend lines on the weekly. So I'm going to look for 0.9260 for a buy on the Aussie dollar. We're pretty close to that right now. New Zealand dollar, we had a lot of sell-off here. I think that price could move back up. We're right at the pod be stronger, but I'm not going to call anything on this because there's so many things to be considered here for this New Zealand dollar. I want more support here for me to consider taking a buy here, and for that reason, I'm not going to call the New Zealand. We have a no call on New Zealand. All right, so the pound yen was a beautiful trade for us. Really, we called 173.50 initially and pulled back to 174.00. And you can see here that at 173.50 price moved up about 37 pips and then headed downward. Beautiful opportunity if you got in at 174.00. And so we're actually going to use that 173.53 area, 173.55 again. So we're going to look for price to go up there in that vicinity. We have a Fibonacci's. We also have areas of support and resistance in that vicinity as well. We're going to look for a sell right off of 173.53. Okay. Euro yen had a very strong buy bar here, and we actually passed areas of support and resistance. You know, it could continue to move straight off of that area, or it could come back down to 137.58, where it could continue to move up from there. We're not quite sure about that, so we're not going to call the EJ. And the dollar CAD was actually a beautiful move up. We weren't sure if it was going to consolidate or it was going to do with this reversal candle, especially after a doji the next day. So we didn't call anything here, but it would have been predictable to see that 38.2 and see price move off of it, and that's what it did. What is predictable for us now is that we can get a sell off of 1.0977. So I'm actually calling a sell off of 1.0976. So if price gets up here, we're going to start looking for a descent down on the dollar CAD for correction. And that's what we're looking for on all of our calls. So once again, if I can, we're going to look for a buy at 131.10 on the euro dollar. On the dollar Swiss, I'm going to look for a sell off of 0.9207. And actually, guys, you know, I'm going to look for a buy off of 0.9135 as well. So consolidation. I'm going to look for a play in between these two areas. The pound dollar, I'm going to look for a buy at 1.6450. Dollar yen, we're going to look for a sell. Well, we're not going to call it the dollar yen actually. Guys, if you want to, you can look for a sell off of 105.30. That's not my official call though. The Aussie dollar is 0.9260. We're going to look for a buy there. New Zealand dollar is going to be a no call on that one. Pound yen is going to look for a sell off of 173.53, and the EJ is a no call. Euro yen, and the dollar CAD is going to be a sell off of 1.0976. And with that, guys, those are our calls. Happy trading. We'll see you tomorrow. All the best.